Hello and welcome to Newsclick. Today we are going to discuss about the assembly elections that are going to be held in 5 states in coming 2 months. To discuss the issue we have with us Shankar Raghuraman, Deputy Executive Editor from Times of India. Hello Shankar, welcome to Newsclick.
Thank you.
There are 5 states which are going to see assembly elections starting from today onwards till 16th May. What is the significance of these elections and what impact will it have on the national politics?
Well, to a large extent, the significance of these elections on national politics is limited, in the sense that the largest national party today, the BJP, really has no presence to speak of in 4 of these 5 states. So, whether it's in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Bengal or Pondicherry, the BJP is not one of the major players. So, to that extent, what happens in these 4 states will not have a very important bearing on national politics, except to the extent that Bengal and Kerala are very important states for the left. So, to that extent, as far as national politics is concerned, Bengal and Kerala will have bearing on how the left's future looks. But the real state which will make a difference to national politics would be Assam, because there the BJP did extremely well in 2014, in fact emerged as the single largest party in that state, and it would be hoping to come to power in Assam. And if that happens, it would be a historic moment not only for the BJP but for the national polity, because so far the BJP has not had a large presence in the northeast. Being able to establish such a firm foothold would be a big deal for the BJP and also have its own implications for politics.
But the Tarun Gogoi also has been there for the last 3 terms, and what do you think? I mean, the BJP's coalition with AJP, is it going to be any is it going to play any major role in formation of the government for BJP? Because if you even look at the exit polls, they're saying that none of the parties will reach to the halfway mark.
Well, I won't place too much reliance on what the polls are saying, because in any case some polls are suggesting that the BJP will form the government there, others are suggesting that it will be a hung house, but I will not place too much reliance. We have seen in the past that opinion polls have gone horribly wrong. But if you consider the BJP AGP alliance, there are some inherent problems in that alliance. See, the BJP made its major inroads in Assam, in the upper Assam region during the 2014 Lok Sabha elections. Now, this is exactly the region in which the AGP will also fancy its chances. In 2014, the growth of the BJP happened to a large extent at the expense of the AGP. So, in that sense, each of them is a threat to the other. So, it is not a very comfortable alliance, which is the reason why there have been such open rebellion in the ranks of both the BJP and the AGP in Assam on the issue of this alliance. But clearly the BJP feels that the alliance the AGP will be able to bring some addition of votes to its tally, and which could make the difference between finishing second best and becoming the ruling party. However, there is also a contradiction in their positions on the rather emotive issue of illegal migrants from Bangladesh. The AGP has been traditionally hostile not just to Bangladeshi Muslim migrants, but to all Bangladeshi migrants, including Hindus, and in fact its appeal has been to a anti-Bengali sentiment which treats all Bengalis as aliens. The BJP on the other hand takes a clear religious position on this, saying that Hindu migrants from Bangladesh are refugees because they are fleeing religious persecution in Bangladesh, whereas Muslim migrants from Bangladesh are illegal aliens who should be deported. Now, therefore, thanks to its position, the BJP has been able to gain some foothold among, say, Bengali Hindus in areas, in districts where there is large scale immigration from Bangladesh. Those sections would be very uncomfortable with the alliance with the AGP. So, the alliance is problematic both in terms of the personnel gelling and in terms of the positions being somewhat contradictory.
So, I mean, what do you think? What are the basic issues on which the Assam elections is going to be fought?
There are several issues. One would be, of course, Tarun Gogoi has tried to make it, taking a cue from Bihar, he has tried to make it a me versus the outsider Modi kind of fight, and the BJP clearly recognizes that that is a problem. Traditionally, they have not had any very prominent local leaders to project as chief minister, so they have chosen this time to project Sarbananda Sonowal, who's a local as and a sitting MP, as the chief ministerial face. Now, whether in a contest between Gogoi and Sonowal, whether Sonowal will be able to hold his own, I am not too sure. And to some extent, the BJP also risks the implication that they are not projecting it as a fight between Gogoi and Modi, because they see brand Modi as having lost some of its sheen. The issues, of course, there will be all kinds of issues in these elections. There, as I said, the illegal migrants issue is always an emotive issue in Bangladesh, in Assam, but the divides along those lines are not as clear as the BJP would like them to be. So, it is not just Muslim Bangladeshi illegal migrants versus the rest. That is not how the politics of Assam works. There are tribal loyalties, there are conflicts between ethnic tribes which have been traditionally settled in those areas and Adivasis from Jharkhand, for instance, who work in the tea gardens. There is conflict between Bengalis who lived there for centuries and Assamese speaking people. There's on the eastern borders with Nagaland and so on, there are disputes over the border disputes with neighboring states. So, it's a far more complex mix of identity conflicts than the BJP would like it to be.
So, but the way BJP has been trying to project its manifesto for the Assam elections, focusing entirely on stopping of the illegal migrants from the Bangladesh, and then Assam has a history of a communal violence. If you look at past 3 years only. So, do you think BJP is trying to bang again on the communal politics or communal polarization, and it also shows its larger agenda for the entire nation?
Yes, it is definitely the case that however much Mr. Modi might pretend that the BJP has fought elections only on the issue of good governance, there is no doubt that in election after election, there has been a dual track campaign. One is this campaign of providing good governance, the other is either a overt or covert communal campaign. And in the specific case of Assam, that is bound to be a very important undercurrent in the election. However, the risk that the BJP runs with running a blatantly communal campaign in Assam is that its best bet lies in the election becoming a triangular contest between the BJP-AGP alliance, the Congress and the AIUDF of Badruddin Ajmal. But the more the campaign acquires a communal color, the more Muslims are likely to be forced to choose between Congress and AIUDF. It is unlikely then that the Muslim vote will get split in constituency after constituency. So, that is a catch-22 situation for the BJP. Its best bet seems to be to raise the communal temperature, but then it also consolidates the vote against itself.
So, what do you think, what role is AIUDF going to play in the entire election?
AIUDF is, firstly, it's not, unlike the Congress, it's not a party which is present across the state. So, its strength is concentrated in the areas bordering Bangladesh really, and over there it did very well in the 2014 elections. It actually got more seats than the Congress. I mean, the BJP got the largest number of seats, followed by the AUDF and then the Congress. But that is, to my mind, unlikely to be replicated this time. because people are not quite sure what position the AIUDF will take, and that can work against it. So, Muslims who might be very uncomfortable, for instance, with the idea of the BJP being in a position to form the government in Assam, do not seem to be entirely sure what role the AIUDF will play, and in that case they might well prefer to go with the Congress. So, that could work in the Congress's favor.
So if we look at everything, can we reach to a conclusion that it's Congress which is going to come back to power?
Well, it's such a complex election that making any definite predictions would be foolhardy. But yes, it certainly seems to be the case that, contrary to what the 2014 elections suggested, the Congress is much better placed than those results would suggest. It may well come back to power again.
So this would be my last question. What impact is it going to have on national politics in terms of the seats in Rajya Sabha, and how is it going to influence BJP's decision-making policies?
See, more than if it's a close contest, then in terms of the seats in the Rajya Sabha, either way the BJP can only gain a little, it can't lose from what it currently has. But more importantly, after having lost conclusively in Delhi and in Bihar, if it were to lose again in Assam, then the perception that the steam has run out of the BJP's juggernaut would be very strongly underlined. And for the BJP, that is a far more worrying prospect than a few Rajya Sabha seats. So, I think the real impact of these elections on national politics would be in terms of either confirming that the BJP has run out of steam, or giving the BJP some reason to hope again.
Especially when we have elections coming up in Punjab and Uttar Pradesh as well. Okay, thanks a lot for giving us your time, Shankar, and as the things proceed, we'll be coming back to you on such issues.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching Newsclick.